Right now on Full Custom Garage. Master metalman Ian Roussel built a chopper-inspired trike from the ground up.
The whole concept with this bike is giant rear tires, long extended forks, total 60s, 70s Ed Roth style trike. Outlaw stuff.
With his hand on the throttle, Ian's not slowing down.
It's all about making this thing look badass. You see a lot of trikes out there, and it seems like it's the look that they miss on. I really want to make this thing shine.
And later, Ian's wild ride hits the brakes.
Like most things, best laid plans never seem to come to fruition that easy. We're in Ventura, California. It's the Chopper Fest. Just looking around, see what's happening. I got a couple ideas of a bike I want to build, and I'm just seeing what's out there. Seems like the bike world's taken a couple turns in what's popular with style. For me, the 60s, 70s, the chopper thing that was going on is really the core of it. Traditional bikes have a really lean profile, and of course they got stretched out just to be crazier. That's what I'm into. I want to build a bike that reflects that. The thing I like about these bikes is it's all fashion. They probably don't ride that good, but damn, they look bitchin'. The forks are all stretched out, no suspension, rigid frames, really stretched out forks, just crazy ideas on wheels. A big part of the chopper scene were these straight four engines, Hondas, Suzukis. Denver's Choppers was building frames for these kind of engines, and I just think it's cool. I want to take that element of a really long bike, but make it a three-wheeler. Trike conversions have always been popular for motorcycles. It's really hard to get style into this three-wheel design, and I'm just gonna push my skills and try to make it happen. The whole thing I'm gonna try to do is build a trike that's badass. The problem I'm having with all the trikes I see is it just looks like a pile of stuff. It wasn't forethought. It just looks like they took a motorcycle front and stuck a car on the back. And I'm just trying to move through that. I want it to look like a motorcycle. My whole gig with the swap meet shopping is really just looking for anything cool. I'm not dead set in what I want to build, so I just might find the thing that sets the tone. Looking around at this swap meet, I'm thinking handlebars, seats, gas tank. If I can find some existing stuff from the 60s, it's gonna make my job a lot easier. I'd rather not have to make everything. If I can find it at the swap meet, then it's just way more progress. I'm walking away from here with a lot of cool ideas. There's still haven't found the right parts yet. Chopper Fest is a great show. I got a bunch of cool ideas. After seeing a few trikes out there, I think there's room for improvement. I have an engine from a '79 Honda Goldwing. It's a motorcycle motor and transmission. I want to mate it to a car rear end. My friend Don, he's got all kinds of cars and trucks. The last time I was over there, I remember seeing a rear end from an El Camino. I think they'll be perfect for this trike. Yeah, this would be perfect. I'll just clean this up and bring it home. Trying to get this trike built in 2 weeks. There's a big bike show coming up. I want to bring this thing there. 2 weeks for this project is really fast. I've been thinking it through in my head. I got a lot of plans. I think it can happen. Good as new. The whole concept with this bike is giant rear tires, long extended forks, crazy paint job, total 60s, 70s Ed Roth style trike. Like crazy cartoon character just jamming down the highway, outlaw stuff. Trying to use parts that already exist, it's easy in some ways, but in other ways it's more difficult. They weren't designed to work together, but you know they do work on their own. For me, the process is having an initial idea and then just building most of it just kind of on the fly. So finding something that exists and modifying other pieces to work around that idea is the quickest way to do it for me. I need to take this whole axle apart so I can narrow it. It's got offset differential. I really want to make the thing as narrow as possible, so I'm gonna have to shorten the axles individually. I want the tires real close, right up next to you where you're sitting. The coolest thing about the motor and rear axle on this is it's a motorcycle engine coupled with a car rear end. That's cool. The issue I'm facing is that the output shaft of the transmission is about 4 inches off center. I guess what I'm gonna have to do is narrow one side of the rear axle more than the other. I think the easiest way for me to figure this out is just mock it up with the tires and just see how narrow I can get it. This is the real deal. OG 1970s Krager SS. It just fits the whole 70s thing I'm doing. You can see how wide this thing is. It's just, I want something very compact. The thing I have to figure out at this point is I have my direct center where the 2 axles at this point meet dead center. This differential is gonna move over about 4 1/4 inches. So I think what I'm gonna do is make this axle 6 inches narrower than this one. Through all my calculations, it says that that is correct. I think something like this. That's considerably narrower. So you see the reason now, it's pretty apparent why I put these little legs on here, because they're all still at the same height. I can just move it, re-weld it. The axle housing looks perfect. It's got different length axles, it's offset a bit. I think it's gonna work. I narrowed the housing to what I needed. This bike has an offset differential, so I just ordered a couple axles that were machined to fit. So you can see, considerably shorter than the originals. This is the test fit. Hopefully it's good. It actually fits. Number 2. Well, I'll be. It actually works. Wow, I mean, it works. It totally works. I'm always hesitant to let stuff leave the shop, but the machine shop did it perfect. It looks great. It's gonna roll. This rear U-joint matches the rear axle, so that's a GM part. And I just happen to have this old U-joint from a 49 Ford laying around. So I welded them together so that it's like a miniature drive shaft. The thing about the U-joints is the only way I'm really gonna know if it works is after it's done. The shakedown run, that's what's gonna tell the tale. The way that I've been building things, it's really found objects. It's used parts, old stuff, things that really have no purpose being together. I could just buy a motor and transmission and rear axle from a supplier. They sell trike kits all day long. For me, the turn on is trying to get this thing together with all these unique parts that don't go together. I'm gonna go visit my friend Gary. He's an old school biker. I know he's got what I need.
I've been in this building here for 36 years, and he mentioned something about what he was doing and on a bike, and I said, wait a minute, I think I have something buried here that you could possibly use.
Long time no see, sir. Best thing about having friends like Gary is he's been around forever. He was doing the thing when this was popular, so I know he's got what I need. I'm coming to steal the forks I've been hounding you for 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice spy. Here they are.
Aha.
Yeah, I was gonna do a project with them, and I never got around to it. And no sense of letting them just die.
Right on. They're definitely old and used, but they got good grease in them. These are perfect, man.
I've reached a point in age where, you know, I got to start clean some of this stuff out of here. You can collect only so much, and then you go, what are you ever going to use it? No. The Z-bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are wall hanger.
Right. These are the real deal. These are old school. These parts are great. I just need one more thing. I looked right next to the ladder, and there it was, an Invader rim. That's an Invader rim, sir. What the heck? This is old school too, man.
That'd be perfect for that front end.
Tire looks like brand new. This is exactly the flavor that I was going for, man. You want the right stuff, you gotta go to the right people. Totally fits. It's exactly the combo.
I didn't even realize that.
It's perfect. The whole flavor of the thing is 1970s wild chopper stuff. So the forks are period correct, the handlebars are from that era, and I even got a front rim and tire. It's a good setup. Looks like it could have been back then. It's like a time machine. Well, it really helps, right? So I gotta polish all this stuff up, then assemble it. I mean, I'm not gonna re-chrome any of this stuff. It looks great. I'm just gonna clean it, steel wool it, polish it. I want it to look like it was from like a leftover, you know? Total survivor. I think these are perfect. I built this thing like 20 years ago. It usually sits in a corner, but sometimes I just ride it around, you know? It helps me think. It's really all the same thing. I mean, I'm just trying to get into some kind of a groove, get the feeling, and move forward. This is a creative project. There's no blueprints. The whole deal with the mock-up is that I could see it three-dimensionally. It's really hard for me to sketch something, but seeing it on the table, all laid out, I know what I'm looking at. The whole concept with the mock-up is being able to make changes. It's really hard to see what it's going to look like until all the pieces are in place. It allows me to adjust the wheelbase, move the handlebars, do my hair, you know, whatever it takes to make it right. Yeah, this is a little too low and stretched out. I'm definitely going to bring the tire in and the handlebars up. This is just the flavor I'm looking for. It's got that 70s chopper look. Thing totally came to life. I mean, it's still just sitting there on the table, but I'm already cruising on the highway. This bike has a solid rear end. It's a rigid, it has no rear suspension. I need a comfortable seat. I was looking around for seats, motorcycle seats, horse saddles, wheelbarrows, anything. That would almost work. Just upholster the whole thing. No ordinary seat's gonna fly for this. It's gotta be something really cool. That's not the seat. It's hard to know what this seat's gonna be, but I want something unique. It could be anywhere. People sit on a lot of stuff. Seats are around here somewhere. Just gotta find them. You know, it just occurred to me, I've been sitting, working for 10 years, 8 hours a day on this freaking work seat. I think it's perfect. I want the seat to be right on the axle. As soon as I put it in place, I was like, wow, it's low back, really wide. It's perfect. I'm gonna put the seat right on the rear axle, so I'm gonna bend a hoop and set the seat. That way I can sit on the axle, put my hands on the bars, and decide where they should be. Using this 2-inch round tube for the seat support, I'm building the whole frame out of this. It's 1/8-inch wall, it's super strong. I'm just gonna twist it up and make my own frame. So I made these two little saddles out of a 3/4-inch square tube. They're gonna sit right on there, and that should be plenty secure. What I'm looking for, kind of Kind of low, kind of forward. That way with the rigid rear axle, you know, you're not leaning back and it's not beating up your back. It's gonna be a pretty rough ride. So like this, at least you got your own little internal spring working. Wind in my hair, bugs in my teeth. Here we go. I'm just working through getting this frame welded up. I really want to spend my time on the bodywork and the gas tank. You're not going to see the frame at all. It's not a feature, it's just a structural element. It's got a rigid rear end. It has no suspension in the back. So the only thing that's going to give is the headset, the Springer forks. There's no shocks, so it's got to be a strong frame. I think I'm going to set up the top tube in the frame so that the gas tank sits above it. Like you see the Frisco style choppers with the gas tank above the frame. I kind of want to reflect on that. Most times you'll see like a straight backbone that comes through straight up into the headset. I put a little bend in it because I don't want a big like tunnel through the gas tank. I want to put as much fuel in here as possible. Because it's going to be a Coffin tank, I was thinking it would just follow the line of this bend. You'd have a big open shape that held a lot of fuel. So this is the look I'm going for. I see the 2-inch tube backbone, 1.5 inch uprights, and then I'm putting a big gusset around through the headset. I'll weld it in all the way around, so it's big, chunky gusset holding the headset in place. The whole idea of the trike, it goes back to when I was a kid. I mean, all the cool kids in the neighborhood, they had big wheels. Everything I build with these far out proportions, it all goes back to that. When I grow up, I'm gonna have the craziest freaking trike or the wildest hot rod ever. Coffin gas tank is iconic. Late 60s, 70s, chopper stuff. I want to build a Coffin tank just like I saw in the magazines. So this is the start to the gas tank. Just laying out a couple quick measurements of what I want it to be. At this point, I'm just eyeballing it. You know, I'm putting out a center line, I'm setting up the top dimension of the tank, and I'm just gonna put it in the sheet metal brake and fold it, see how it looks. The main reason for using cardboard or hard paper is that you can create a 3-dimensional mock-up of what you're building. It's way cooler than some computer-generated image. That's pretty cool. That'll work. What I'm building is a take on this classic Coffin tank, they call it. Has flat sides, kind of faceted, sort of like a diamond, or like a coffin. The Coffin tanks are pretty basic because they're just flat panels bent on a sheet metal brake. It's pretty simple. No English wheel, no special hammers. You just bend flat panels and weld them together. See what the hem edge does? Makes a really rigid end to weld on. Just as an example, when they're welding together, you'll have 2 of these heavy edges folded over double. You can see how if I bend it, it's going to interfere with the next panel. So I got to clamp these to the table and fold them with a hammer. This is pretty cool because it shows that you don't really need all the fancy tools to do this type of thing. This is the last bend. This type of fabrication really reflects everything I've been doing, is just try to figure it out and make it happen. I've never had the luxury of so many fancy tools. Sometimes you just gotta go backwards, like this. A couple pieces of tube and a couple clamps. Done. This type of gas tank's kind of old school, no special forming, it's all flat panels. The key here is making sure it's all welded solid. If the welds aren't good, it's gonna leak. If it leaks, you're on fire. That's no good. I like to use the MIG welder to spot weld all the panels together. It's really quick to mock it up with the MIG. Later I can TIG weld it and then it'll be liquid tight. Looks good. Oh yes. Starting to look like a motorcycle. See, the idea is if you break down, you can just roll home. It's pretty easy. The next step is to create these little inner fender wells. Obviously, I don't want to be rubbing on those things. It's tight. Keep the pants off the tires. Just a little extra guard. I'm always open to using existing parts. Sometimes it brings you fresh ideas. Just thinking about what's around. My friend Bill's got a set of tractor fenders, and they might be perfect for this. I love the idea of a freestanding fender. There's nothing for these things to attach to, and it's exactly the way a tractor fender's set up. Now this is what I'm talking about. It's crazy because this tractor has almost the look of the little seating position that's gonna be in the trike. These fenders, I might just take these and modify them. It's exactly what I have on the trike. The seat right here, the tire's very close, and these do the same thing as I'm talking about. You see the rubber, and they just protect the rider from falling into the tire. That's it. Nobody's got fenders like that, baby. You're in your little chamber. Well, you're definitely protected from the tires. But, they look absolutely ridiculous. These fenders are not gonna work. These fenders are a little too Flash Gordon for me. It just makes me think of a clown with a big tie on, you know, big shoes. It's just not cool. It's gonna look comical, and I'm not looking for that. My plan is to duplicate this design, but smaller, half size. I'm gonna use a round rod all the way around the perimeter, and then finish it off with a sheet on the surface. Here is an improvised arch maker. I need to create a radius around those tires. There's a lot of ways to bend tubing. Sometimes I just do it primitive. It works for me. Weld the end, flip her over, and roll out the barrel. This rim made the ring too small, so I'm just gonna stretch it out on this tire. It's always easier to open the arch up than to try to shrink it down. So the idea here is to get this to be about just a half inch or an inch off of the surface all the way around the tire, kind of like here. So all you do is just start to beat on it. Right about there. So this puts an even half-inch perimeter all the way around. Now that I got these hoops around the tire, the rest of the skeleton of the body is going to be the same rod. So I'm just making some pieces that go around the tire and hold it up. Now I'm gonna set up a couple little braces so that these hoops don't fall off the tire. Really, the only way you can create these shapes is by eye. You just put it in, give it a little twist, put it back on. So I'm gonna create a little sheet metal edge that'll come from this side to this side and just put a little crown in it. This is why a man would want soft cardboard, for those very delicate areas. So my plan, cut the steel a little bit bigger. This is just a rough guide. I got some pretty cool air shears. Eastwood sent them over. They work perfect. one of those instances where you realize you can never have too many clamps. You can see it swings down and then out and then back around, and it's all one panel. It's gonna be a lot easier when it comes to bodywork because there's no welded seams. Some people may cut it on the highs and lows, but I just swung it right around. In the end, I'm gonna paint these fenders so they look like some kind of a carnival freak show. I want it to look like you're locked in on some kind of a wild ride. All right. It's getting closer. The whole idea with the fenders, you can see now, your legs ain't gonna rub. It's perfect. You got just enough to keep you off of that. Still got your wheelchair action. It's pretty cool. Something about the bars that were on the forks, they just looked a little too small proportionally in relation to the rear tires especially. I just want the bars to be a little bit more forward and not so down in the wrists. I want them kind of straight out. I feel like with those giant back tires, the handlebars should be a little beefier, so I'm gonna make them out of this 1.5-inch round. See on the top of the bars how they come backwards towards the rider. I don't want that much angle. I want them to be a little bit more forward. I want a little bit of pullback, so I'm just gonna put this piece of bar stock under it. And I'll set up the angles like so. And that should be good. Just kind of winging it, whatever looks good. If they don't look good, I'll make another set. How's that sound? Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that they're both even. You don't want one limp arm, right? So I'm keeping these angles parallel, straight through, and then they're the same distance off the table. And that's all there is to it. Another issue with the forks that were on the bars was the risers. I thought they looked a little bit too spread out. I wanted something right down on the headset so that the springs really showed. These are the risers. They're gonna weld on the bottom of the handlebars. Instead of bolting on like those, it'll be a clean, clean look. See, I welded the little nut inside. Then there's the bottom plate. Makes it very, very strong. Feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Born to be mild. The bike's really coming together. It's got the flavor. The handlebars were like the final touch with the fabrication. It's on. Now that the fabrication's done, I'm really starting to think about some crazy paint job ideas. But even that's getting ahead of myself. I need to make sure this motor runs. It's been sitting around for a while, and I hope it still works. This build's coming along great. The next big thing I gotta deal with is the engine. So I'm gonna try to adapt a Volkswagen carburetor to this Honda engine. I had this thing laying around, I just put a rebuild kit in it. Aside from my personal belief that everything should have a bit of Volkswagen in it, they're basically the same shape engines. A VW is a flat 4 boxer motor. The Honda Goldwing's the same thing. From the factory, the bike came with 4 independent carburetors with a big junction box that was the air cleaner. It was really well designed for maximum performance, but they're gone. In looking at the Volkswagen motors, they have a center carburetor with a long runner connecting both cylinder banks, and then they have a short splitter like on the dual port manifolds. It seems that they tried to make this as even and short as possible. So I'm gonna try to replicate that. Bought these U-bends, and of course they're not the right radius. They don't match from cylinder to cylinder. So the first step is to cut them so that they fit the existing intake from the Honda. The Honda motor and a Volkswagen motor, this style, are pretty similar. I don't see why this intake wouldn't work. Those two half circles you see coming out of the castings will get welded together, and then there'll be a port cut on the inside edge of each of them where the crossover tube mounts. Next, I'm gonna make a tube that crosses over the engine. After that, just make a riser for the carburetor and weld a base plate on. I'm using the same size tube and making a cross member that goes left to right on the engine. It'll look kind of like a dog bone, but I'll put it upright in the center of that holds the carburetor. It's gonna go 10,000 miles per hour. It's amazing. This intake is just a shot in the dark. It's my best guess, just like everything else I build. I'm just winging it. Found this cool little air cleaner. It's more just like a wire screen, but I modified the end of it so that it fits the VW carb. And now you understand why the frame has that strange shape in the front. See, that sits just like that. Pretty slick. So all I need to do now is just make a tube that goes up and holds the carb. Like most things, best laid plans never seem to come to fruition that easy. This isn't gonna work at all. I didn't take into consideration the way the throttle linkage is gonna hit the manifold. Pretty much married to the idea of the intake being this shape. I gotta come up with a way to make this work. I think I'm just gonna make a curved tube that sets the carb a little bit forward. I had intended it for it to be right on top of the intake, but it's gonna be a little bit offset. Yeah, the motor's rigid mounted, it's not gonna shake, so the carb won't hit the frame. It's all good. Bitchin'. I think it looks great. It's exactly what I was thinking. You always gotta jump hurdles to get there. In the end, it's what I wanted. Now that I got the intake squared away, I'm stoked. It looks like it's gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's time to try to start this thing. It's the moment of truth. All right, let's try to give it some fire. Every internal combustion engine is pretty much the same theory, so I knew somewhere it wasn't getting electricity where it needed it. No spark. There's this red wire just sitting here. I don't know if that goes to power. There's a little thing in here. It's no more ignition points. So this magnetic module needs power. That's what it is. Aha. So somebody changed out the points to this cool little electronic ignition. I had this whole motor rigged. The wires were twisted together. There was no fuel tank, no exhaust. I don't even know if there was oil in it. I just wanted to hear it go. Prepare for start. As soon as I put power to that red wire, like a light switch, it started right up. Next step is to get the tank and the fenders painted. Pull this motor back out, shine it all up, run the fuel lines, electricity, and ride it. This bike is bitchin'. I'm really stoked. I mean, it totally works. It feels good, it's got plenty of power. I couldn't have done it better myself. It's perfect. If you just want to have fun, enjoy something, goof off, this is the bike for you. The whole thing with this is to look like a giant toy. It looks like a big wheel. It's one thing to think about a project, but to see it right there, it's great. It's what I live for. My whole thing is just trying to push it, trying to push the boundaries. It's easy to make something that's already cool. I want to do something new. Paint's really kind of a loose interpretation of like a psychedelic 60s chopper kind of thing. You know, it's got the pearlies and the flakes and stuff. I just thought it fit. I mean, I think it works really good with the bike. You can't go wrong with an octopus gas cap, and that's like next level. It's a squeaky toy, it was a dog chew. It looked like a gas cap. The whole rear of the bike was really just something to take your eyes away from the radiator. It's a really simple setup. It's just a mesh screen, covers the radiator. There's 6 exhaust tips, 3 on each side, some cool, old school British taillights, and that's it, bodywork. It's a liquid cool bike, so I really just tried to make it look like a royal throne. That was the chopper vibe. Throne on wheels, and hey, there it is. I just finished the trike. I brought it out here to the Born Free show to reveal it, and it's on. Born Free show was the perfect venue to take this to. It's just mellow, good vibes, great show. I feel like this show really embodies that 60s, 70s hand-built bike vibe. You see a lot of really long bikes, thin tires, everything that was happening before the mass production.
I have a trike myself, a chopper trike ironhead. And this one here is totally hand-built. It's one of a kind, totally unique. Whoever put this together knew what they wanted as opposed to anything else. I mean, you're not going to see 2 of them. And we're looking at the drive shaft on this, going to the rear end axle. Just it's totally unique.
I've always built Japanese bikes, and I noticed this had an old Goldwing motor in it. That's from the same era as the bikes I build, so I came over and took a look at it. I like all the angles, you know. I like a style of bike called a digger, and they had angled tanks like that, you know, like mid-70s sci-fi type of stuff. And I noticed that before I even realized it had the Japanese motor in it. Once I saw the Goldwing, that just topped it off. Didn't notice it until we stood here, but it's got a seat off a lawnmower on it, you know, and it's perfect. Nobody would ever guess, but I mean, he did the same thing, just home built, different ideas, and it works perfectly.
The whole thing behind what I'm doing is it is meant to be displayed. It's meant to be exhibited, thrown out there for everybody.
It's pretty sick. You can make a Honda Goldwing look cool.
And a badass trike that's like super short. I don't think it probably pops wheelies like no other.
A lot of ingenuity in it, very clean.
The reason I wanted to build this trike in the 70s style is because I guess the 70s style bike was a little more experimental, it's more creative, and I just like that aspect of it.
It's kind of like the weirder it is, the more it sticks out. So.
Yep, yeah, more people like it.
It's hard to describe exactly why I need to do this, and that really is the proper word. I need to do this. As I understand it, you only live once, and for whatever reason, I need to build these things. Being at a show like this, the Born Free, it really turns you on. No other way to put it. These guys have it nailed. It really makes me want to build something else. The next thing I build is really defined by what's laying in the scrap pile. That's how this thing was built.